Hello, I'm leaving work now. It is Tuesday with the Breakfast Club, and I'm Sister Danger. I'm Wayne Watley. And I'm backing up, and so that involves me making sure I don't run into another vehicle. Anyway, Sister Danger and I this week have changed days because of working schedule conflicts or whatever with her. And Kate, yes, I'm in my car doing this. And I figured you would love that. The theist in car movement is growing strong. So today's topic is about privilege, about rights. And I don't know where we get the notion that all rights are innate. I know that the United States Constitution, not the Constitution, I had a brain fart. Anyway, it says that all men were created, where is it? Excuse me, I didn't have any of this prepared. That's why I'm doing this on my way home. But basically, it says that that our rights are God-given. I totally normally know this, so I know I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but it just totally escaped my mind right now. So I don't believe that just because the Constitution states that all rights are innate and given to us by our creators. They were endowed to us by our creators with certain inalienable rights, such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men were created equal. Even that document didn't believe it. It said all men were created equal, and yet a lot of them were enslaved. A lot of men, when that was written, a lot of men were also moved off their native land and pushed westward or eradicated. So, what are rights? And I'm sorry if this is crappy lighting, but rights are things that we think of in our heads. Liberty is something, if you were the only person in this whole world, you could do whatever you want to do and not have any consequences from any other person, because obviously you'd be the only person. But what if you are in a society like America, like I am, and I don't really believe that government is benevolent. I don't believe that it's, that even the power we give the government is in our minds, just like rights are in our minds. It's all imagination, the power that we give government to rule over an area. But it's demonstratable power because of our mindsets and because of what we accept as a norm in society. Look, this was all written and built upon, we were once nomads roaming this planet free to do whatever we want to do. And we would do whatever we wanted to do until we discover, oh wait, that's going to kill me if I do that. Different things. And then eventually we created society. But I think our default is anarchism, not government. Our default is freedom. In other words, you do whatever the hell you want to do, but there are consequences. In this country, in this state I'm in, if I had a marijuana leaf or plant in my car, whatever, I've never done drugs. I don't know if I sound like I know what I'm talking about, because I'm in Louisiana and that's still a big no-no here. I could be locked up in a cage, and really, I guess I do have an option to flee from the authorities if I am pursued, and I have the freedom to do whatever I want. But might makes right, I guess, because whenever you've got a government saying this is our laws, this is our arbitrary rules, and this is what you go by, just like when the Constitution was written, all men were created equal. Well, except for those that were not created equal. Look, we're all created as free agents, I believe that, but there are consequences to your actions. And you're only free in the context of what the society, the people around you, will acknowledge your freedom. You're only affluent in an area where, where you're allowed to be that way. And that's based upon the societal norms, based upon what the majority of people will say. That goes a long way, though. If I were displaced from time, taken out of the 21st century, and I were put into, let's say I was just put into 1st century AD in Rome or Judea, 1st century during Jesus's time or whatever. Well, for one thing, Jesus wasn't white like what we said. I would be an outcast. For one thing, I doubt there were so many people that were as overweight as me. It would be different. So context and where you're placed really plays a lot into your privilege. I think that even what is considered privilege today is changing. I'll disagree that whites are more privileged in some situations, but I'll agree that the whites are more privileged than others. I do think that the media has a narrative too, and so there's an equation: black person, white cop, violence. That's going to make the news. But black on black crime doesn't. Whenever a white person beats on a white person, which does happen, and you just don't hear about it as much, that doesn't make the news. But there's a narrative, a very carefully placed narrative, and I'm definitely not discounting what's going on. And I'm not an idiot to know that, yeah, this country has really screwed. I said it earlier about how men were not all created equal. So I'm not saying that, white people don't have a privilege. This isn't the 1950s through 80s anymore, where it's the same. Now there is an uprising, and it is throwing a wrench in the machine, I believe. There are people that are saying that only white people can be racist. There are people that say that a white cisgendered male is the most privileged person, but white men are served, and they are given jail sentences that are longer. They are statistically, than women are. Now, black men are definitely marginalized more, and I believe the war on drugs has a lot to do with that. Guys, I don't have a format right now. I'm just speaking from the top of my head. I'm sorry if I'm jumbled. I'm just basically saying what's privileged today may not be tomorrow. If there's a societal shift, it's not some magic one. It's not like there's an innate, because I'm a white, cis, male. It's because it's what society's built. It's the building blocks, and where I come out on that, that's where the privilege is. And that's changing. I believe it's changing. There's just so many people who are if you're a white cisgender male, then you're automatically a racist, a sexist, a bigot, until you prove otherwise. And I have experienced some discrimination in that way. I'm not comparing it to discrimination other people have seen, but you could be written off. But it depends on the group, though. I think overall, culture is still very much easy for someone like me, especially in the South. But anyway, I'm just trying to look at as objective as possible at everything. I see that there's racism everywhere. There's sexism everywhere. There's homophobia everywhere, and people are just responding to what has been put into their little pea brains on how they need to react to someone. Anyway, that's it. I hope this video made sense. I'm sorry I was going to have it all written out and played out better for Friday's video, but this is my messy version of what Friday was going to be for me. Peace out, guys.